I'm Nick Reeves and I'm the Environmental Officer for Big Rock Board Riders. I'm also the South Island rep for SURFBREAK Protection Society.
SURFBREAK Protection Society is very concerned about the actual and potential adverse effects that will or are likely to arise if this consent is granted for the proposed activity.
Our surf breaks on the north coast are probably some of the best in the world, and the wave quality on the north coast is just magnificent, and it's an asset to not only Otago but to New Zealand, and just the economic impact that surfing has on the Dunedin economy. We're not against Port Otago dredging for bigger ships, we're just against what they propose to do with the dredged spoil.
So can the North Coast surf breaks sustain this volume of matter in their swell corridors? The campaigning of the SURFBREAK Protection Society resulted in the protection of 19 nationally significant surf breaks around New Zealand under Policy 16 of the New Zealand Coastal Policy Statement. To protect the surf breaks of national significance for surfing listed in Schedule 1 by A. Ensuring that activities in the coastal environment do not adversely affect the surf breaks, and B. Avoiding adverse effects of other activities on access to and use and enjoyment of the surf breaks. A surf break is defined in the glossary of the New Zealand Coastal Policy Statement. A natural feature that is comprised of swell, currents, water levels, seabed morphology and wind. The hydrodynamic character of the ocean, which is the swell, currents and water levels, combines with seabed morphology and winds to give rise to a surfable wave. A surf break includes the swell corridor through which the swell travels, and the morphology of the seabed of that wave corridor, through the point where waves created by the swell dissipate and become non-surfable. Swell corridor means the region offshore of a surf break, where ocean swell travels and transforms to a surfable wave. Surfable wave means a wave that can be caught and ridden by a surfer. Surfable waves have a breaking point that peels along the unbroken wave crest, so the surfer is propelled laterally along the wave crest.
These Port Otago resource consent applications need to accommodate the conditions and guidelines laid out in the New Zealand Coastal Policy Statement.
The panel must give serious consideration to current Policy 16 and Policy 13 of the New Zealand Coastal Policy Statement. The Spit surf break at Aromoana is one of these surf breaks now protected, along with Whareakiaki and Karatani. The Spit surf break has been directly affected since dumping began there in 1985. Prior to then, even a world-class wave existed. Detectable improvements in the peel angle of the wave due to the spoil mound has been recorded, along with the potential for the destruction of the wave by continued dumping to an already full spoil mound.
So even though the environmental impact report states that there will be no more than minor or unchanged conditions in the surfing wave environment along the north coast, these conclusions are based on monitoring reports from the AO dump site, 6.3 k's out to sea and 27 metres of water. These results in the AEE do not include the cumulative effects of both AO and the existing nearshore dump sites at Shelley Beach, Aramoana and Heywards Point. The recommendations report to the panel dated March 2011 lists that the Spit, Karatani and Whareakiaki as being nationally significant surf breaks. The applicant's studies have concluded that the only effect will be a small reduction in wave height at Aramoana Beach as a consequence of deepening the adjacent entrance channel to Otago Harbour. Consequently, the effects of the proposal on the offshore wave environment will be immeasurable at the shoreline. This conclusion is quite unacceptable due to the fact that the spoil mound at the Spit has a direct effect on the formation of the wave at the Spit and has the potential to cause adverse effects with greater volumes of spoil being deposited than there has been in the last 5 to 20 years. The volumes at these three sites are up to 450,000 cubic metres per year, of which 200,000 cubic metres a year at Aramoana, 200,000 cubic metres a year at Heywards Point and 50,000 cubic metres at Shelley Beach. Over the last 5 years, only 50,000 cubic metres in total, approximately, has been dumped at the Aramoana site. One of the resource consent applications is a change of conditions of the current consent to be changed from deposition of spoil from maintenance dredging to deposition of spoil from capital dredging. The current consent allows for spoil from maintenance dredging up to 450,000 cubic metres per year to be disposed of at sea at these 3 nearshore dump sites. The Aramoana Beach dump site has played an integral part in the wave quality at Aramoana since dumping began there in 1985. The spoil mound is reported by Kilpatrick in 2005 to have contributed to the world-class waves, although the effects of ongoing dumping in the area are unknown and potentially detrimental. Kirk, studied in 2003, noted significant retention of spoil at the Aramoana dump site. It was found that 60% of the spoil does not disperse into the greater marine environment. The spoil mound is growing, and surface feedback and experiences report that wave quality is already being compromised. We've already covered that studies show the spoil mound at Aramoana is accumulating. As the swell moves over the spoil site, the waves begin to mound. Sometimes, in larger swells, they break, dissipating the energy from the waves. This mounding area is just 5 to 7 metres deep, and this in turn affects wave refraction and direction. So, what we're looking at is 2 to 10 years of full capacity dumping of spoil for this next generation project at the nearshore existing disposal sites of Aramoana, Heywards Point and Shelley Beach, with a smaller amount at the new AO dump site until this decision is made.
We believe that the inshore dump sites will be used first for deposition of spoil before the dredgers take matter out to the AO dump site. These are the 3 main points that SURFBREAK Protection Society would like to request Port Otago to do to prove that there will be no effect on the surfing wave environment. 1. The need to emphasise that although the assessment of environmental effects reports no adverse effect on surfing and swimming and the wave environment, that they do acknowledge that the surf break is enhanced to some degree by the spoil mound. Therefore, there is a direct effect. And to also recognise that further dumping has the potential to have adverse effects. This is verified by reports from Kirk 2003, Kilpatrick 2005 and McComb verbally this year. 2. That we request robust bathymetric modelling of the spoil mound and the effect on the surf break 4 times a year, and that if there is a trigger or change in activity, that the volumes be immediately reviewed. 3. The set up of a camera site on the cliffs, either by NIWA or ASR. The results can give forecast scenarios of spoil effects by volume, as well as define the characteristics of the surf break that bathymetric studies do not afford.
I believe that the Otago Regional Council needs to recognise the national and international value of these surf breaks, the economic impact from tourism, and student university choice in the Otago economy. The Otago Regional Council need to protect the delicate bathymetric conditions that are required for these surf breaks to exist, by ensuring they are not destroyed by inappropriate development, such as the possibility of the Port Otago Next Generation project. We need to, as a collective of surfers, let them know how valued the North Coast surf break treasures are, and that we're willing to fully shout out and participate to ensure they are preserved for our own continued stoke and the many generations of surfers to come. Let the surfers of Otago voice their concerns about this proposal. Thank you for listening.